Welcome back to Business and Politics. We're talking to Nea Administrator Daddy Almeda. So there's a lot on your plate, and you're hoping to do what was set out more than 50 years ago. You said you're confident, and I think that's to be expected. But realistically speaking, sir, what do you need? Well, maybe from the national government, from Congress, or maybe from the private sector. Let's start with the national government. What do you need?
Well, Clint, actually, I'm trying my best to come up with a detailed strategy plan on how to achieve total electrification by 2028. That's why I was mentioning earlier, I'm trying to accelerate the traditional program of city electrification. I am trying to avail of some satellite imaging for identification of household on the ground, so no one will be left behind. And we are trying to make the Microgrid Act complementing to total electrification. So I just met with the Department of Energy earlier. With Yusek Guevara, and we are trying to formulate the best plan. The best plan on how to carry out total electrification. Once we have this, and I think we will have one. We will sell this to Congress. This is what we need. This is what we need, and the only way to achieve this is for us to be given the financial resources to carry out this plan.
I see.
And of course, there are some challenges along the way. Just like what I mentioned earlier about how to carry out the project, and the manner of liquidation will not stymie us from, prevent us from carrying out an accelerated program. So those things, we have, again, to sit down with the Department of Budget Management maybe, and the Commission on Audit, on how to give us some leeway, not to sacrifice accountability. I'm sure there's a way, because it was done before. As I've said, I will refer back to the years of 2012, 13, and 14, where about 7,000, 10,000, 6,000 a year accomplished sitios.
I see.
So if we are only talking here of 11,000,
and it was done before,
we have a 5-year program. I think we can do it.
It's doable. The President in the SONA also mentioned some deliverables from NGCP. What are those some of those deliverables that will benefit NEA?
Well, to start with, NGCP, I hope, can interconnect the missionary provinces.
I see.
Because
so they need to invest also.
Yeah, the interconnection of the missionary or the SPUG areas to the main grid is very, very important for total electrification.
I see.
Because right now, the island provinces are working or are being supplied by gensets.
I see.
And power insufficiency is a common feature.
I see.
Now, if they will be able to connect the island provinces into the main grid, then that will solve the problem. As in fact, case in point, what happened in Occidental Mindoro earlier this year, sometime March, is that if only it is interconnected in the Batangas grid, then there's no problem.
Oh, okay.
There's no problem.
So that was one of the problems in Mindoro.
And that is a relevant factor. I mean, that is a very important factor that can bring about total electrification, sufficiency of power supply.
What about the private sector? Is there a role for them to, besides investing, as you mentioned earlier, is there a role that they need to play here to help out? As you said, this is a whole country approach, right? Is there something that you think that they should do?
Private sector can make the difference in carrying out or undertaking the microgrid areas. Because the microgrid areas are supposed to be unviable. They are unviable areas.
Missionary
areas. So if private participation is very much encouraged and very much welcome, for them to make to be interested and undertake a project for those clustered households.
What about capacity building? Because I noticed like Go Negosyo does these mentoring, for different business owners. Is there a need for maybe some of the management experts in Manila to maybe share capabilities with others outside, maybe the cooperatives themselves? Do they need that, or at least some class of?
Actually, we at NEA, we conduct series of trainings.
Okay.
Series of trainings, management training, financial training, technical training.
Right.
For newly elected board of directors, for newly appointed general managers or department managers.
Right.
There's a program in NEA that is, I would say, complete.
Okay.
To be carried out the whole of the year. I mean, the whole year.
Right.
To give sufficient training.
Right.
For the cooperative management.
Okay.
To be globally competitive.
Right. So, because one of the things even in Metro Manila is sometimes the insufficiency of skills, right? Because maybe they're pirated abroad, right? I mean, I could imagine. I can imagine in the provinces that's even worse, right?
Totoo yan. May mga magagaling na engineer sa mga kooperatiba sa probinsya na offeran ng trabaho sa labas.
Double, triple.
Oo, sa labas. Well, I mean, that is realities of life that we have to face and manage. So we just have to keep on training.
Right.
We just have to keep on training.
Yeah.
And just like what I'm saying in my previous speaking engagements before, alam mo, one thing I learned in this industry, you know, pag naramdaman mo yung kailangan ka sa industriya, katulad ng mga nagtatrabaho sa kooperatiba, ang tingin mo sa trabaho hindi na hanap buhay, advokasya na.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because like you, I mean, you know, we've known each other for a while. You know, I heard that you were semi-retired, diba? And I think even your family business, I think I heard you say that the second generation is now the one.
That's true, that's true.
What keeps you going now? What brought you back to public service now? Because I guess it's also relevant for people who should be committed in running the cooperatives, right?
You know, Kling, the truth of the matter, you know, pag napunta ka sa isang lugar na iilawan mo, first time you'll energize, doon mo mararamdaman na malaking bagay o importante sa buhay ng tao ang kuryente. And that becomes now an advocacy of yours.
I can't even imagine. Di ba yung magka-brownout lang, di ba?
You know, just to share with you, I mean, first time I went up to the mountains to energize.
Okay.
There's an IP guy.
Saan to?
Sa Negros Oriental.
Okay.
So, he was speaking to me in his own dialect. So, tinatranslate lang siya.
Okay.
I mean, makakarinig ka lang sasabihin niya, I am 82 years old. Hindi ko akalain sa buhay ko na makakita ako ng ilaw ng bombilya bago ko mamatay. I mean, these things. I mean, that would make you feel good.
Yeah.
And that gives meaning to what you're doing.
Yeah.
That gives meaning to what you're doing. And I'm enjoying it.
Okay.
I am enjoying it.
So, do you think this will be your final legacy, I guess? You've been in and out of public service. Would you like this to be your legacy, or are you thinking of something bigger?
Well,
or something
being
else?
part of this legacy, or somebody who contributed or was part of bringing this into a reality, the vision and the dream being into a reality of total electrification, pwede ko nang baunin yun. I mean, that's for me is, a fulfillment. Enough fulfillment for myself. No? Na yung in-envision ng matandang Ferdinand Marcos way back 1969.
Nagkatotoo dito
magkakatotoo
sa
by the year 2028 sa anak niyang naging presidente in the person of President Bongbong Marcos. And I was part of the team. Malaking bagay na sa akin yan. Pwede ko nang baunin yan.
Are you in touch also with maybe younger generations, maybe not just in Manila, but you know, when you go around, di ba? The younger generation, how do you convince them? Oy, dyan ka muna, kailangan ka na. I mean, I'm sure if they have the background to run the cooperatives, they either have the management background or maybe the...
Alam mo, nakakatuwa eh. Nakakatuwa ang industriya na to eh.
Okay.
Kasi just like my experience with Typhoon Egay.
Okay.
Typhoon Egay. The recent calamity.
Yeah.
Automatic sa mga kooperatiba yan. Basta merong nangyaring kalamidad, for example, nangyari sa Region 1.
Okay.
Ang mga kooperatiba sa Central Luzon, naka-ready na sila.
Okay.
Nung tumawag ako sa kanila, kailangan natin ng tulong sa Region 1. Okay, admin, Mamayang gabi, alis na kami. That means naka-ready na sila.
Tulong-tulong sila.
Tulong-tulong na sila.
I see. Speaking of mga weather events, you know, in areas that are prone to typhoons, has there been any parang initiative maybe to do something else para when a big typhoon comes in, you don't have these fallen electric wires, electric poles? Ibaon na lang. Is that
That's
something
too costly.
viable?
That's too costly.
Hindi talaga
hindi
kaya,
pa tayo nakahanda ron.
So basic talaga yung
Basic
supply.
pa lang tayo.
Yeah.
I mean, in my answer to the calamity and the climate change,
Yeah.
you know, one thing I am trying to propagate right now,
Yeah.
which I am preparing to implement soon,
Yeah.
is I would bring back the regional procurement hub.
Okay.
What is this? Dati kasi, ang NEA ang bumibili
Okay.
ng ginagamit ng mga kooperatiba.
Okay.
Nawala na, na-devolve sa kooperatiba.
Okay.
Now, I am now trying to find a way. I am formulating the terms of reference right now, wherein one region will have a regional procurement hub wherein all the things that they need will be warehoused in one area.
Regional.
Regional. And the vendors should maintain a buffer stock level.
I see.
A buffer stock level that in case there's a calamity at bumagsak ang mga pose,
Naka-preposition.
naka-ready ang mga materyales. And kung ano kailangan ng kooperatiba, naka-consign doon.
Alright.
So you will only start paying pag kailangan mo na. You all you have to do is withdraw from there.
That's interesting.
And NEA will be the one to do the bidding and procure these equipments for them.
I see.
But once procured, I will leave the warehouse management system to the Regional Cooperative Association.
I see.
Something out of the box.
That's interesting because one of the things that the President mentioned is a new procurement law, di ba? I guess something that's not based on the lowest bid, that there's some things about quality.
Of
But
course.
you're talking about something else. Is that going to be part of the discussion?
Well, actually,
Kailangan ba makasama yan?
the procurement of electric cooperatives are not governed by 9184, by the way.
Okay, so it's not...
I am just exercising my
Some
mandate of authority
creativity.
as the agency that would regulate and monitor and supervise the affairs of the electric cooperatives.
Interesting. Administrator, we'll be watching your progress here, and we wish you luck because I think it will be something to fully electrify the country. We have to invite you back maybe next year to see how
I
the
can
work
give
is
a
being going.
report. I can give you a yearly report,
Yes.
Blake.
Sir, maraming salamat. But before we go, maybe you'd like to leave our audience with a brief message from NEA?
Well, we at NEA are prepared to accept the challenge, to carry out the plan and target of the President Bongbong Marcos, to energize the whole of the country by 2028. And it takes a lot of political will, and I think and I believe it will happen in this administration. So when asked if this is doable, of course, and I'm sure it is doable.
Good luck again, Administrator. And this has been Business and Politics, and I'd like to thank the viewers watching this program, as well as those watching the replay. I'd like to thank Pastor Polo Kibuloy for making this program possible. Again, this is Business and Politics. I'm Dante Klinkang, and I will see you next week.